am glad to see you guys. Yeah, there's my alarm. I'm right on time. Hey, Mark, good to see you, man. So today I'm going to kind of keep this short, but I want to show you one thing I learned this week, and it's really cool. So a couple things happened. Just as a quick week in review. This weekend, my back was kind of crazy hurting, so having trouble standing up and sitting down, which is a problem. Um, I've been working on the Melodyne course, and then I found out that Melodyne 5 came out. So that changed the things a little bit, but that's the downside. The good side is that Melodyne 5 is really, really cool. And I've been been jumping in there and learning some new stuff there, and it's really cool software. Sorry, I had to clear my throat. Um, Maybe this will help. Some coffee. Okay, so I want to show you one thing that I learned this week. I've been using Reaper. Mark, I think you've been using Reaper too. It seems like the further I dig into this program, the more impressed I am. Reaper has got to be one of the best DAWs I have seen come out in a long time. And it's not freshly out, it's been around forever. But I wanted to show you one thing that I found in Reaper that's just blowing my mind right now. This is just one of several. Some of the things I love about Reaper is it's really stable. It's crashed on me one time since I've been using it. And I think that was my fault because I was trying to do going crazy with the key commands and stuff. But I want to show you one thing that I discovered this week. I don't know how helpful it's going to be for you or for me, but it's stinking amazing what it can do. Between Reaper blowing my mind and Melodyne 5 blowing my mind, I need a break. I need rest. I need a weekend off. Okay, so I'm gonna show you my screen real quick. So as you may know, I have been mixing our worship sets in Reaper. And so it's kind of one of those things that repetition, I'm getting my reps in here. So I've got one vocal soloed, and I want to zoom in and show you something that's really cool about this. So you can right click on a waveform, and then you go down here and you can go to spectral edits. And I'm like, what is spectral edits? So I opened it up, and you can show a spectrogram. That looks like Isotope RX to me. That looks like a really cool. And I forget how to change it. You can change the color of it. You can change how the contrast of it and everything. But I want you to notice here, these are S's. I'm not going to play anything for you here, but you can see S's, and if you zoom up, you can see P-pops and plosives also. But you can right-click on this S here, and then you can go add spectral edit to item, and then it will create this little opaque box here that you can then resize. Whoops, I don't want to. Be careful not to do that. You can actually resize it. Oh, there's the bar. It's probably hard to see there, but you can actually resize this thing. But wait, it gets cooler. You can take the box and go around the S, right? And then if you want to, you can just gain it down so that you can get rid of your complete S until it's nothing. But we're not going to do that right now. You can gain it up. But I just want to reset that right now. I'm not going to save this. I'm just going to leave that right now. The cool thing about this is that you can actually compress it. Holy crap. So you can go up like compressing it like what, 2 to 1, and then pull down the threshold a little bit, and you're compressing it. So you're de-essing it. That is amazing. You can crossfade it so that it's not. You can crossfade it from this here, which is not affecting at all. You can. Let's see here. Yeah. Here's the low fade here, which we're not doing a whole lot to it, but you can fade in and out of this. This is like a crossfade for this de-esser, which is blowing my mind because I've never had to consider a crossfade for a de-esser. It's crazy. So once you get this sounding like you want it, then you can just copy and paste it to every S. You just option drag it. Oh, that's not option drag. Hang on. Kevin, a note. You should definitely learn all these shortcuts before before you do them. You can copy and paste this somehow and drag it right to here to another S. Or if you wanted to, you could just resize the whole thing, DS the whole track, just like this. I'm not sure of how it's going to sound, but the fact that you can do this in Reaper, it's like, come on, every other DAW in the world, these guys are killing it. So I'm going to go back to the original track here. So, and you can see what it does to the track. Let me see what you do here. Maybe you can't see what you can do to the track, but yeah, you can. Maybe you can see it. Anyway, I just thought that was really, really cool. And I know we're only 5 minutes in, but that's one of several things that you can do in this. Now I'm going to undo all this stuff. I don't mess up my mix. I'm not positive I have it saved yet the way it should be. But anyway, that's one thing in Reaper that's just blowing my mind. One other thing I'll show you is the ability to customize this toolbar. In Pro Tools, they have a set number of things in the toolbar that you can do. Mark showed me this one, Track Manager. You can hide and show tracks based on in here. Like for instance, I don't care anything about seeing my reverb returns up here in the edit window, but I definitely want them here. So you just go to the Track Manager, which is not natively baked into here. You have to go up here to items or options. Mark can tell you. But that you could show it or hide it. Like there's my drum verb. I want to see it in my mixer, but I don't want to see it in my my edit window. Same thing with VCAs. I want access to them here, but I don't need them up here. I just need audio files here that I can edit, see the waveforms and things like that. So that's really cool. But you can actually customize this. Like I'm experimenting here where you can collapse all your automation here. Some of the stuff that I'm just used to that's kind of like baked into Pro Tools and baked into these other things that you can show and hide. You have to build this, but once you get this built, man, I can see myself really customizing my Reaper workflow, and when I get it done, I'll definitely show it to you. So let's see. Let me hide the screen if I can remember how. All right, so I'm gonna hide the screen. So, morning, Steve. Track Manager is behind your window. That window over there? Yeah, I think that's a late reply, but anyway. So just a really short thing between Melodyne. Let me show you something in Melodyne here. First of all, I'm discovering that the AVA workflow that's in Melodyne and a lot of other DAWs, it's in Reaper also. It's not in Pro Tools. You have to hack it to make it work in Pro Tools. But when you instantiate a plugin, you can it will automatically put it at the first slot. Now we're talking about Melodyne here, not Reaper anymore. But you can put when you instantiate Melodyne in a system that has the ADA workflow, or is it AVA? I should get that straight too. It will go ahead and put it in the top slot where I tell you to put it, and it will already track everything in. Now, this particular session has 12 songs in it, plus false starts and talking and stuff. So it's a big handful, but still handles it really well. But it'll go ahead and track it in for you. So then when you open Melodyne, you can just get to work. You don't have to like track everything in and go grab your coffee. But I want to show you something in Melodyne. I'll just open a Melodyne that I already have here. So let's see. This is really cool, and this is something Mark that has been really handy this week. Since I went ahead and bit the bullet, bought the Melodyne. Since hey, I'm going to be teaching it. I'm about finished with the course. I was going to show you. First of all, Melodyne, like this here, they changed something in the algorithm it works. It just works. Like this right here, I would normally tell you to divide that into 3 notes because it's a scoop, it's the note, and it's the fall off, right? Can you guys see that okay? This right here is the scoop. But if you notice, in the old Melodyne 4, it would average this note, and this note, which would probably make this note seem like this. Sorry, I don't know if you guys can hear that or not. Hopefully you can't, because nothing worse than listening to a vocal like that. Anyway, so this new algorithm just works. Second thing, you can see the sibilants here. You can actually adjust it. You can adjust them more or less sibilants, which here's another great de-esser. 2 de-essers that I wouldn't have normally gone to are probably going to end up being my go-to de-essers here. Can't confirm that for sure, but that's what I'm thinking. Here's another cool thing. You can take the whole track. See, let me select all. And then there's this new algorithm here, and you can make the loud notes quieter, and you can make the quiet notes louder, which is basically a real-time, non-artifactual, if that's even a word, compressor or pre-compressor. Because it's first in line, why not go ahead and even out all your tracks to where when they sing a couple of really loud notes, just pull them down. You can do it 1 note at a time, or you can do it on a whole track. Between that, what the new Melodyne does and some of the stuff that I'm finding that Reaper does, seriously, mind blown. Really cool thing. So, and then Mark was telling me last night that there's the key. Let's see, I haven't figured out the key thing yet. I haven't really needed it, but you can change the key here. Anyway, I'm just using Melodyne in a very modular way because I tend to play around with plugins, but I tend to use them. I usually say, I need this plugin to do this. How do I do that? And then I'll watch a tutorial or 2 or something like that, pull it up, and then make it work, and then I move on. I don't try to, learn everything there is to know about a plugin in most occasions. But anyway, that's a couple of. Could you guys even see my screen? Crap. Sorry. Well, let me show you one more time then. Okay. Sorry about that. Talking about Melodyne here. Just realized you couldn't see my screen. I'm so sorry. Let's go back to. I'm going to go back to Kelly's track here. Uh-oh. Okay, so you guys can see my screen now. Okay, I'll start back. One of the things is the algorithm that Melodyne is using better detects notes like this. This note would have normally been 2 notes. The scoop, this is the lick going into it, da, and this is da. This is the fall off here. Well, in the old Melodyne, they would normally average those 3 together. And it would typically, if you just double clicked it, it would make it sharp. Because here's the blob that it detects the note at, and here's the actual 3 notes. I would normally tell you to cut those. I don't think I'm going to even do that anymore because this works better. So I guess what it does is it calculates the longest note now instead of the average of the notes. And I found it to be 95% correct. I'll go back and change a note every now and then, but it's correct. Now, the other thing, sorry, I'm covering this twice, but you couldn't see my screen before, right? Is that I'm going to select all the notes in this track here, and then here's a new tool here where you can make the loud notes quieter, and you can make the quiet notes louder, and you can actually make it to where it's an even track all the way across, and that's really cool. I found that to be really good for a pre-compressor. If you really want to hit a vocal, if you don't want to compress a vocal, this is a way to do it. If you want to compress the vocal hard and be consistent sounding, this is the way to do it because you're hitting your compressor the same way all the time. So I found these 2 tools between, like I said, between Melodyne and between Reaper, all it's doing, really cool. So anyway, hey, chord track. Mark, I don't know that much about the chord track right now, to be honest with you. I will check that out, and I'll probably get back with you. Let's see. Mark, you said the chord track is awesome for dialing harmonies. If I'm not mistaken, the chord track detects which notes would be in the chord, and it blanks it out. So instead of putting it in the chord, instead of putting it in the key mode, it puts it in the chord mode to where I don't know. It seems really really cool. And I tell you this, guys, if Melodyne were to come out with a straight up DAW that you could just track into, I might jump ship. I don't know, but I'm loving Reaper right now. So let's see. What's the cheapest, most usable version of Melodyne, Steven? Let's go take a look. No, I'm not sharing my screen. Pretty sure I'm not sharing my screen right now. Am I? I don't know, but I will. I will. Let's take a look. Okay, give me just a second to share my Chrome tab here. Celemony. Okay, so this is an expensive plugin. I don't know what it does, but okay, so Melodyne. I'm using Studio, which I bought from the very beginning. It was a Studio, and then I got the plugin as a promotional giveaway because they had just come out with it. Then I started using the plugin first and thought, this is so easy. Why would I want to go outside of Pro Tools and bring it back into Pro Tools? Because that's cumbersome, and I don't like. That's why I don't like Rewire. That's why I don't like having. That's why I didn't like Reason playing alongside Pro Tools, because I just don't like stuff hanging on my DAW, right? So I started using just the plugin, and I loved it. I never went back. I hardly ever use the standalone version, but I've got it, and that's what I keep upgrading. Maybe I'll do a course on that. Let's see. Buy Melodyne. Here we go. If you were to just straight up buy it, Studio is expensive. It's like 700 euro, 700 bucks, I think is what that's. I think even though 600 euro is more expensive than 600 US dollars, I think they still honor that. But this is Studio. This is what I've got. I don't use the standalone version a lot, and that is a DAW, I guess. So I guess they've already come out with a DAW, but I don't know. So Melodyne Essential is going to get you one track, I think. Melodyne Assistant. Let's see. I'm thinking that this, if you want to do, Steve, if you want to do multiple tracks at once, which that's another cool thing about Melodyne, is that you don't have to keep opening different instantiations of the plugin. Now, since Melodyne 4, you can just go vocal 1, vocal 2, or it pulls the names into Melodyne. So you can actually, just do all that from one window. It's pretty cool. Melodyne Essential, if you just want to use one vocal, I think, and it may be limited. Melodyne Editor, if I was going to like legit use Melodyne in Pro Tools quite a bit, I would probably use Melodyne Editor. And I promise, man, it is money well spent, really, honestly. Melodyne is probably one of the best purchases I've ever made. As far as plugins, the upgrade for me was 150 bucks, which I still, I think it was worth it. So anyway, okay. So hopefully that answered your question, Steve. Okay. Sorry, you couldn't see my screen, and I couldn't tell you. Yeah, I couldn't see you telling me you couldn't see my screen. So, okay. Got it. Okay. Hey, does anybody have any questions about what I covered today? Or any comments? I know that there's a lag here, and so I'll give you a couple minutes here. But just to recap my week while we're doing this, for any last minute questions. Tweaked my back Saturday, was in pain Sunday, Monday, and still a little bit, but it's all good. I bought a filmmaker course. I'm really excited about that. I brought a cinema camera home, and I'm going to mess around with that a little bit. My daughter wants to be a YouTuber, so I may film her a little bit, and I'm teaching her how to edit. I'm turning it into a game where we edit videos. We edit Daddy's videos, right? So her attention span is a little short, but hopefully, as I get her engaged into video editing, it'll be a skill she'll have, and it'll help me out too. So yeah, so I did that. We cut another video yesterday at church. Real simple. Three ladies talking on a couch, and I had a team of girl volunteers, and it was awesome. They did fantastic. Let's see. Today I'm going to continue working on Melodyne 5 and finish up this mix here that I'm working on for not this coming Sunday, but the next week. Should be good to go. So anyway, let's see. Okay, cool. Melodyne will help fix my back issues. I wouldn't put it past them, honestly. Those guys are like mad scientists over there, honestly. Um, so anyway, I'm looking forward to digging into that a little bit more. So, hey, I'll keep this short today. It's Friday, and I'm going to work a little bit, but I got to go out to lunch yesterday and sit down at a table, and it was amazing. If anybody wants to go to lunch with me, I'm really down with that. So anyway, hey, I'm going to let you guys go for now. Listen, if I can help you in any way, let me know. I've got a resource over at mixcoach.com. If you're an advanced mixer and you just want to learn new ways to put your mixes together faster with a cool workflow, with a solid workflow, just go here to mixcoach.com. Check that out. If you're just getting started and you don't know the difference in a dynamic microphone and a condenser microphone, what a direct box does, what a mic pre does, there is another course that I've got for you called Basics. I love showing people this new technology in a way that doesn't intimidate people, and this is a way to do that. Both of those are available right now. If I can help you do that, that's cool. And yeah, so hopefully I will see you. I'll schedule some more of these live broadcasts next Monday, next Wednesday, next Friday, and I look forward to seeing you then. Okay. Until then, I will see you guys on the next broadcast. Okay. Take care. Bye.